Alright! So, as I've done wood texture many times on my videos, and I alluded to going, look back at that old one way over there, is how I did it, I decided to actually do a full tutorial just on making the wood texture because I have changed it over time. I've made it my own. This was originally done on a Grimwood Hollow video. I'm linking it down below. I've taken what he's done and kind of enhanced it over time to what I like to do and how it looks. It doesn't mean that either one is any better. It just means that they're different, and this one happens to be the way that I do it. So these are just 1-inch styrofoam slats. You want the high density foam. You don't want to go with the beady stuff. You'll just have nothing but a bad time. Now, you see this is older styrofoam. If you got new styrofoam, good on you. If you got old styrofoam like me, because I salvage everything, it's usually dirty, messy, everything like that. Sometimes I find that the extra damage adds character that I can't get normally. So, first thing I need to do is, if that's the case, you need to just take this drywall sander, and I apologize for the sound of it, to get it cleaned up real quick. These drywall sanders are amazing for this. Now, the next step we're going to be looking at is we want to have some deeper cuts in here. So using an X-Acto knife, you want to come through and make some deeper cuts. Now, what this does is it just gives the wood a bit more character than normal. So if you go in about 45 degrees on each way, you will do it. Now, you don't want to have too many of these, just one or two, just to, like I said, add character. And once you're done, you're done. This part's the really quick part. Actually, let's be honest, this whole wood texture is the really easy part. So you're going to get to listen to me ramble as I cut out these pieces. Now, get out of there. So, once we've got it to here, we've started our main wood texture. Now this is, I have no freaking clue, but I picked it up at a garage sale one day, and it's a wire brush on a drill stem. So, I guess it's for wire brushing something. I love it because I used to use a Dremel to do this texture, but I found that this, when I get it at the right speed, it just, it's more random. And I know that may sound weird. Oh, styrofoam everywhere. It's more random, and I really like the way it looks when I heat gun it. So I've been doing this now on my current project, which is, this is actually 4. Now, the final step to get this wood to the point where it actually looks like wood is you take your wire brush, a 4-row wire brush, quite obviously made in China. So you take it, and with really decent downforce, you pull, and you want these to be full length, so you're not... You may hear me complain a bit here, because you really have to push to get this down and get that grain deep enough. And just like that, you can see how you go from just a piece of styrofoam to a well-grained piece of wood. Now, I'm going to go get the heat gun, and I'll be right back. Alright, we're back to heat gun this. Now, all this does is it opens up the grain on it. Do this in an open area, well ventilated, blah, 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 blah. I don't need to tell you exactly what to do here. So, just going to turn on the heat gun. And what you're going to see, as we hit this, you'll see that the texture opens up beautifully. And it has the secondary effect of sealing the surface. And just like that. You don't want to be stupid where you burn it, but you can see here how it seals up all of the surface and makes it really actually pretty strong. And just like that, the actual styrofoam part of the wood is done. Now the next step we're going to do, and I'm not going to show it on camera because I don't need to, is I'm putting a coat of this brown, what is this color here? It's a really great base color. Anyways, mixed paint. That doesn't really tell me much. Look, it's brown. So that's what we're going with. I'll be back to show you what this looks like painted, and we'll go through the actual weathering this thing up and getting it ready to be used. I'll be back. A good paint job is like an onion. It has layers. And that is my worst Shrek impression ever. So, what we have here is, I've got 4 boards, each at a different level of, finish. I'm hoping that you can see the finish. It's kind of hard to see because in reality, the things are subtle until you go from the beginning board to the ending board, which is still the light's not perfect here. I'm gonna have to just work with it and do what I can. So the first step you need to do is you need to get the wash on here. And so what I do is I mix black paint, just black acrylic paint, with water, and you want to get it where it's thin enough when you put it on your hand that it, look at, I dripped on there, and you'll see that when you put it on there, it stains just a little bit, but is not black, and that's perfect. Then you spray all the boards that you have, and it works out really nice because you end up with splotches. You end up with it going into all of the seams and the such like that. It looks pretty good. Holy, that bottle is dripping all over my wood. It's okay. It's not a mistake. It just adds character. So that is the first step, is your wash. Now the second, you can do the wash with a paintbrush too, but if you're doing a lot of wood like I am on this project, yeah, you want to have a spray bottle. It'll take all of the fun of working on it. So next step here is you want a stiffer bristle brush that is, you know, decent size, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking black, getting it to the point where we're dry brushing, and then filling in all of the divots and all of the channels. So you can see here how there's just a little bit of black paint in each of them. If you go over a bit, that's fine. Once again, it's adding character. You do that to each of the sheets of wood that you have after that. Third step, like you can get away with only 2 steps with me. It just doesn't work like that. And look at that, I have brown paint somewhere on the bottom of that. I'm gonna have to fix that, right? Ta-da! Anyways, so next step is you take cashmere tan paint. You can go with a lighter color, or so not a lighter color, a darker color, using a large brush. And the cashmere tan, what you want to do is you want, once again, bring it to the point you're brushing, and then just lay it on very lightly. Go to the level that you want, and you'll see that, well, I'm going to come up a bit closer here. You can see how it just highlights all of the upper surfaces. The dark black is doing all of the deep surfaces, and then the brown and the wash is just adding variation to the color. Now this final step is one you do not have to do, but I find it makes all the difference in the world. Now this is Puritan Pine wood finish from Minwax. It's a penetrating stain. And you're probably saying, Sawin, why are you using a stain on styrofoam? I tried this one day just as a lark, and man, the finish it gave, if you look back on my Canon video, I did the exact same thing there. It just adds a very light gloss and seals it. Just if you do this, remember to do it inside. And the other thing is it subdues all of the colors as well. You can see here, just one second here. I can't get that to turn on. Okay, if you look closely, you can see that the browns are all here, but with this stain on it, it's adding just like almost an oiled sheen to it. And I love how it just subdues the color enough to make it look classy and realistic, where you would be struggling to know if this was a real board or not. So just like that is how you go about making a realistic wood texture from start to finish. I refer to this in a ton of my videos, so I figured it was about time that I did one that was specifically talking about this wood texture so I can refer to it in the future. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, and I will see you next time. And remember, if you like these videos, please throw a like on it. It'd be greatly appreciated. If you really like the videos, as always, hit the subscribe button, and stay tuned for more shenanigans. Have a good one, all.